Girlfriends cannot have guy friends.
Yes, they can.
It's impossible.
Why?
They can't. Because the guy friends are always there waiting for the boyfriends to mess up. When the boyfriend messed up, boom, they want to be there. You want me to prove it to you?
True.
Call any guy friend right now and say, let's hook up, and I promise you they'll be like, okay. Do it.
Do it.
Hey, I was wondering if you just maybe like wanted to hook up today or something?
Hell yeah, what time?
Yo, man. Yo, you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? I just caught that on camera. Girlfriends no more guy friends for you. You better block everybody right now. Block everybody on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on everything.
Why is your chick going out without you?
It's like a girl's night.
Understood. So if a girl's night happens and my chick were to go out, she would message me 10, 15 times throughout the night. I'd pick her up. She'd be home. So the fact that your chick went out for a night out and vanished for the night is already a massive warning sign. Yeah.
10, 15 is a lot, but let's keep listening.
If she ever does that once without being told, then you should be able to say to her, look, I'm uncomfortable you going on nights out and staying somewhere without telling me. I want to know where you are from now on. Why? You're insecure. I'm not insecure. I'm a man. If anything ever happened to you, you'd call me. I like to know where you are. You should tell me. If she goes, fuck you, I won't ever tell you where I am. Do you have control of that relationship? No. Responsibility and authority are linked. The reason the captain of the ship goes down with the ship is because he has responsibility for the ship. If he says, man the sails, people man the sails. If he says, man the sails, and everyone ignores him, how can he be held responsible? If you want me to protect you, if you want me to have responsibility for you, if you want to come to me with all of your problems, then I need authority over you. How can I allow myself to fix all your problems when I have no authority to prevent problems in the first place? That's the first thing.
Content like this is exactly why Andrew Tate was canceled, but a faithful and a compromising woman will understand exactly what he's saying. However, feminists will call this anti-woman, they'll call this misogynistic, they'll call this narcissistic, one of their favorite words to use, if not abusive. And I find it so funny is because they want protection and security from a masculine man while calling our masculinity toxic. It is inherently more dangerous to try to protect things that you do not control. Let's say you run up on a domestic situation. You are not in control, but we've all seen videos of dudes that have white knight themselves into an early grave due to the emotional stress of trauma of said people. I mean, think about it. That's why I caution men so much regarding participating in domestic violence situations. You are not in control and you don't know what happened, and you're putting yourself in grave bodily harm by choosing to step in. Western society today has normalized the uneven exchange between the sexes. Modern women want modern men to be traditional and provide protection and security. However, they cherry pick the components of masculinity that they'll benefit from. So provisioning in monetary terms gets a thumbs up, but requesting that she contact you while she's on her girl's night out gets deemed as controlling. If you don't have control of the crew, then how is it your responsibility if the ship goes down?
We as women, men automatically think, why you by yourself?
That's true.
And you looking good. Yeah, you looking good. Why you by yourself?
like something gotta be wrong with you.
Yeah,
like,
something has to be wrong with you.
That's
why?
Because unfortunately, like, and it goes back to the misogyny, patriarchy in general.
That's real.
And that a woman's value doesn't begin until she's considered a kept woman.
Yep.
Anything she's accomplished before that, it's why you'll hear, like, before my sister got married, my sister was a 6-figure woman and had to hear about marriage and kids every time she came back to the, but do you know what it takes to reach that? Most Americans don't get to this point. And so, like, yeah, it's like American, you as a woman,
black and a female.
Exactly.
Right.
You as a woman can't just exist without a man like validating that existence as far as well, any arena is concerned.
Young men like this are typically known for being a lot more agreeable and choose not to hold women accountable for whatever reason. But instead, with his male feminist talking points, choose to blame everything on the patriarchy, like everything is always men's fault. So let me try to give you guys a perspective that would actually help you. When I come across single women that are roughly in my age range, the first thing that I do think is, yep, why are you single? My next thought is usually because she had a roaring 20s and now she's in the lot of where did all the good men go? Or she had checklists and standards that were completely unrealistic, but usually those standards correlate to the achievements that they've had in their life. In other words, She's a PhD, so she thinks that she deserves a 1% man. In the first case, no man wants a former thought pocket. But in the second case, the achievement ego barrier is often too much for modern men today to want to overcome. And instead of the man wanting to handle it, the man in his mind writes you off for being single, but then chooses to contact the 20-something-year-old young lady that he met in the club the night before. Now, again, don't be the all police. Not all. But men typically date down, especially high-value men. And one of the ways that we look down is age.
That's because women like her think that any man with money is a
Why do you have a problem with it in the first place? What are you talking about?
simp and an idiot and will do whatever and won't mind it because it's money and we got it to spare. When I was single, I looked at every woman like, what do you want? Why are you here? What are you expecting from me? Because I don't do that bullshit that they think men are supposed to do. Don't get me wrong. I do things for the woman I'm in a relationship with. There's no question about that. But to do this random-ish that women, it's not just black women, but most young women have this mentality of what men are supposed to be doing just because they got money. Nah, that don't work this way. And it don't work with a lot of people. Again, most of the shit that y'all see on social media be fake as fuck. I just saw some real silly shit. Woman opened up an envelope after coming from a date from a man. It's supposed to be like $1,000 in it. It's all staged.
So when I
just real quick, one of the most damaging phrases that have ever graced men, it ain't tricking if you got it. Yes, it is. It's still tricking. You're still a trick. You're still being used. I don't know why, because you got more money, you don't consider yourself a trick. You're still a trick. Keep the money in your pocket. These women have the audacity to put Cashapp shits in their Instagram bios because they know how many tricks exist in this world, how many simps exist in this world. It's absolutely pathetic. And y'all enable this shit.
I don't have time to feel emotions.
Why?
Because when you're put in a certain position, you have to make sure everybody else is okay. I don't use the term baby mamas. I have 2 lovely women that I'm responsible for. Even if they're in a relationship, I'm responsible for you. It's a man's job to protect, provide, and love. I have 6 children that I'm responsible for. I have a mother that I'm responsible for. I got 1 remaining brother, 1 remaining sister that I'm responsible for. Before I think about myself, I have to think about them. And by the time I think about them every day.
What Shaq is essentially touching on here is the burden of manhood. Men are loved on the basis or the condition of being able to provide. Shaq knows this, as well as he also knows that if he doesn't take care of the mother of his children, then that will directly affect the relationship with his children. It's such a tough pill for most men to swallow, especially if they haven't had a man in the household and growing up and didn't watch that dynamic. But it's the reality that we must face. But I'll leave you guys with a quick quote from Dr. Warren Farrell. Men's greatest weakness is the facade of strength, while women's greatest strength is the facade of weakness. So while the burden of man is great, don't let our greatest weakness overwhelm you.
So without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars. I'm packing and rapping like here we are. Mediocre tutorial reviews. Like, comment, and share my views. Come up and I paid my dues. Big step in my black way shoes. MTR, he break it down, yeah, it's MTR. Check out the sound when it's MTR. No one put it down like it's MTR.